Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about my favorite lens for vlogging and why I use this lens more than 80% of the time. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Travis and I love to film unboxing videos of cool new gear that I get for filmmaking and photography. I also film tutorials in Adobe Premiere Elements on any tips and tricks that I learned in the filmmaking process. If I do any DIY projects around the house, mainly assembling IKEA furniture, I'm definitely going to put those on the channel here too. And when I travel somewhere cool, I'm definitely going to vlog about it. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you head down below and hit that subscribe button. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about my favorite lens for a Nikon DSLR. So I use a Nikon D5300, and my favorite lens that I use 80% of the time for almost all of my filmmaking is the Nikon 1020. So this guy here is a super versatile lens. It's affordable. It's definitely not cheap. Link in the description below if you want to pick one of these up on Amazon. I think they're in Canada about $400. So again, not your cheapest lens, but definitely not the most expensive lens in Nikon's wide angle range. So one of the key features that I love about this lens is the fact that it's a 72 millimeter. So you can easily put an ND filter on it, which is perfect for anybody that's going to be shooting outside. And that's definitely one of the cases where you're going to want to use a wide angle. Now, the lens build itself, it's definitely a little bit on the cheaper side. There's a lot of plastics. The mount itself is a plastic mount, so be really careful with it. The focus ring is nice. It actually moves very, very nicely. But you will notice that there are no switches. So you can't switch between autofocus and manual focus. And the VR is, again, no switch. So because this is a value lens, you're not getting all of the extras that you would get on a $1,000 lens versus a $400 lens. This doesn't bother me because I use it for video all of the time. So when I'm using it for video, I have the VR on, and focusing, well, that is one downside with any of the Nikon setups for vlogging, is you have to use the shutter anyway. So again, I always have my trusty stick that I can reach over and click on that shutter button so that it focuses on the video. So not having those buttons on the lens is something that I really don't miss, but I've noticed that some people have said, well, it doesn't have them, and well, it doesn't, but it's a value lens. The super nice part about it being all plastics is this lens is really light. So if I'm ever making a decision on weight and how much I want to carry, this guy's always in the camera bag because it doesn't weigh that much at all. So another thing that's super important in filmmaking is obviously the aperture. Now the aperture on this guy is a 4.5 to a 5.6, so you're not getting a whole lot of aperture. So I definitely recommend that if you are looking at a lens like this and you want it for low light photography, you're gonna have to spend a little bit extra dough and get a bigger aperture range out of your lens when you spend more money. This is perfect for filming outdoors, which I do a lot of, filming in my studio, which I have bright lights. So that's not an issue to me on the aperture, but it is a little bit lower. And again, that's because of the cost of the lens. We're only talking a $400 lens here. So again, link in the description if you want to pick one up. It's a super good value. Now, one of the key features of this lens that makes it my absolute favorite, especially for filmmaking and vlogging, is the fact that it has a 1020. So if you have one of those typical Joby setups with the tripod, the bendy tripod, and you're focusing at yourself, when you pull this thing out, you can actually have the audience feel that, hey, you know, you can see this guy's arm, he's holding the camera, he's vlogging. It'll show you everything like head to toe. So that is super, super awesome. So using that zoom with the 1020, you can show off your vlogging, or you can actually zoom in and lock off your face so it looks like somebody else might be filming you as you're walking down the street. You've actually been able to zoom in a bit and cut off the whole fact that your arm and everything was there. So from a versatility and filmmaking standpoint, having that 10-20 to play with really allows you to establish a bunch of different type shots. So that is a major reason that this lens stays on my camera almost all of the time. Lastly, which might not be important to a lot of people, but Nikon still includes hoods with their lenses, which is nice. So this lens came with this hood on here, which I usually keep on it 100% of the time because it protects the lens. So right now I don't have a filter on this lens, so this hood is actually protecting it from hitting or scratching on anything. So if your lenses come with hoods, I always recommend keep them on because it protects the lens, especially if you're going to set your lens down and switch out to another lens. You don't have a lens cap around, well, you know it's not going to be scratching on the counter. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this one, smash that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy out there.